Welcome to the month of July, everyone. Today I'll be playing Final Fantasy XVI, and surprise, surprise, Joshua's alive. Bet you never thought he would look like Roxas, huh? Or Ventus.
Did you see the pair that got hauled into tires?
Hello, Thomas the Tank Engine Blues. Like what I'm streaming?
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that. There's talk of these skies driving men mad.
Otto, how fares the realm?
The realm? Oh, she's just fine. As long as you look past the fact storms out mother crystals and her skies are a roiling cesspit.
And Gav?
He's with your uncle in the Free Cities, helping Mid with her project. Sent an owl their way the moment the winds turned foul. Still waiting on a reply, though.
Do you have any good news?
Well, that depends on your definition of good.
All right, fine. What do you suggest we do?
Yeah, I wish I could get a medal.
I'll leave the scheming to those more suited to the task. Could be that Lady Vivian and Old Tomes have their own thoughts on the current state of things. Could be that they don't. It certainly can't hurt to ask.
I suppose not.
Should have told him about Joshua, but whatever.
How is it that every one of your little excursions presages some inexplicable catastrophe? Not that you are to blame for the Dominion's fate. No one could have predicted the actions of the Crown Prince.
I'm sorry I couldn't save your home.
My countrymen are stronger than you think. A few toppled clock towers won't break their spirits. They'll be back on their feet in no time.
I hope so.
Look at us. Bluer than a pair of bog crabs. Tempting though it may be, sulking will not help us find a solution to this mess.
You believe there's one to be found?
I don't know. But I am certain we're more likely to find it if we first examine the facts. Beneath these darkened skies, fear and confusion reign over Valisthea.
Wow.
Oh, the lands around the fallen mother crystals had already begun to wilt for want of ether. But not like this. Crystals that filled wells and
Look at the
fueled
title.
furnaces
It's Final Fantasy
found nothing
XVI.
but pretty shards
Jeez,
of
don't you read the title?
and those that hang from the people's necks cast nary a glimmer of light to keep the dark at bay.
Stupid.
It is only a matter of time before the common folk convince themselves that the end of days is upon us. Yet I fear a swift end is more than we can hope for. While most of the world thirsts for ether, the remainder drowns in it, spawning Akashic in droves. And amidst the hordes of mindless beasts, with magics as like to fail as function, even the strongest nation would falter. Rosaria and the Iron Kingdom teeter on the brink of collapse, while the tragedy in Twinside has all but paralyzed the Holy Empire. Dhalmekia fares little better. Rumor has it the ministers fled the capital after the fall of Drake's Fang, leaving their beloved republic to crumble. Waloed, meanwhile, moves in earnest. The Einherjar has been sighted off-storm. The world, in short, is in chaos. It would seem our civilization was nothing but a castle of sand, to be washed away at the whim of the waves.
A castle of sand.
Not my best flourish, but it seemed fitting.
I
The reports
apologize.
I've received are considerably
Apology
more blunt in
accepted.
their appraisal. Without the protection of their nations, it will fall to the people to defend themselves against those who would take what is theirs.
Which is only ever going to end one way.
Defending a farmhouse against a band of chocobo thieves is one thing, but pitchforks and palisades will do little to stall an army's advance. Should the King of Waloed deign to invade, there would be none to stop him.
Of course I do.
None but us.
Fuck, fuck, fuck. I was a big fan, yes. Blah, blah, blah.
Will we ever see the sun again?
See the sun again? Did it do something?
The battle cries of dread one die, in ruin lies less. As shrinks the glim, so spirit still, unanswered call or prayers.
Got a fucking stick shift.
There's a storm coming, Sid.
Let me guess. You're here about the skies.
Is there anything you don't know, Lawsman?
It doesn't take a court astrologer to augur the obvious. As for what has disturbed the heavens, that, I believe, is a question the Fallen might be better placed to answer than I. And on the 6th day, did the gods tear the sun from the firmament, visiting darkness upon their prideful sons and daughters. But I dare say you remember your childhood lessons on the sins of Zemeckis only too well.
You think they're connected? That Ultima was one of the gods responsible?
Well, he has certainly exhibited powers that we mortals would associate with the divine.
There is nothing divine about him.
But he wouldn't be the first god of whom that could be said, now would he? Yet for all the fairy tales that tell of the sins, there is almost nothing in the way of actual historical accounts. Had I the Journal of Moss the Chronicler, I may have been able to tell you more, but alas, I fear all remaining copies have been lost to time. You will forgive me, I hope?
Certainly not. Because there is nothing to forgive. Even without this journal, you've provided us ample wisdom.
Why should I stop swearing? This is America. We have free speech.
Perhaps Otto will be more inclined to share his thoughts when he hears what the others had to say.
Clive, we have a problem.
Only one. That would be a first.
It would. Actually, there are three. We had as many owls arrive while you were at the shelves. Martha's got a cashie at her gates, and talk of monsters roaming the hills outside of Northreach has put the wind up Isabel and her lot.
And don't forget Dalimil. Lubor says the village was raided by bandits.
When it rains...
It fucking pours. The curse breakers are spread thin, taking stock of the damage in the Dominion. And even if I could get word to all of them, I doubt they'd get here in time to make any real difference. Which means there's only two people who can.
Jill and I.
Let them know we're on our way.
God, you're dumb. Fucking...
I'm
You are
ready when
dumb.
You are, Clive.
Completely
Messages from
dumb.
Martha, Isabel, and Lubor. Well,
completely dumb. UL. Yeah, I can do it. Do it. All I want is a normal conversation with someone of intellectual superiority. I want a bigger audience.
Martha, it's good to see you.
And you, Clive. Jill?
Otto said you'd been attacked by a Kashik. What exactly happened here?
Those skies are what happened. Not long after they fell dark, we had our first visit. There were hundreds of them. Tried to storm the hill. Only a handful made it up here, but that was more than enough. The rest are still down there now. And while we have a few willing fighters holding them back, they're sorely outnumbered.
What do you think, Clive?
That we join the fight.
I thought you'd never offer. Now, where I need you is the Fallen Gate. That's where the fighting is fiercest. Let the men know you come to help. Something tells me they'll be pleased to see you.
We're on our way.
Sure. Whatever. Would someone else besides Thomas the Tank Engine like to have a normal conversation with moi? Is there anyone else in my audience who would like to have a normal conversation with moi? You can stay and watch Thomas the Tank Engine. Just try to express an interest that I want interest in. Like the topic of this game.
Clive, wounded.
We deal with the
Great.
Akashic first.
Here come the Icers.
Get him!
Why the use of moi?
This one. Get him! Get him!
You are.
Over here!
You are. And you are.
Get him! Sick him!
These men don't have the look of hired swords.
If you've
At
come to
least they're
rob
not
this
English
place,
soldiers.
You are mistaken, my Lord Rosfield. We're here by Madame Martha's leave.
How do you know my name?
Forgive me, my lord. There wasn't time for introductions. We're with the Guardians of the Flame.
Wade's men? But how did you come to be here? Where is your commander?
So Wade left earlier with a scouting party to find out where the Akashic were coming from.
Did he? Take your wounded back to the inn. Martha will see you're looked after. We'll join you anon.
And to think you took them for thieves. A fine reward for holding off the horde, that is.
When did Wade and his men arrive?
Not long after Rosalith fell. The Guardians asked me to shelter some of them that had lost their homes. They were making ready to leave just as the skies turned, and we agreed it was best we stuck together.
Martha! Trouble! The scouting party's almost at the lift, but they got a pack of Akashic snapping at their heels! And they got wounded with them! They're not gonna make it!
Damn it all.
We'll worry about them, Martha.
You look after everyone here. If any can still fight, send them to the lift.
I will. You two be safe now.
My brothers.
Mad dogs. The law of them.
Squire, I need you to get those who can still walk up the lift to Martha's. But what about... I didn't
Grand
ask,
Theft Auto.
Sir.
So Wade.
Not exactly.
Lord Rosfield.
The game is
If you aren't a sight for
like
sore
modern.
eyes.
This is
Martha seemed to think
medieval
you might need some
or
help.
Renaissance.
And by the looks of it,
We thought we could sneak by them, but we didn't know there would be so many. How could we have?
Behind you!
Damn it!
That's the biggest,
We need to get the injured to
fattest.
safety.
Do you think we can hold them off?
I know what
We can certainly
GTA
try.
means.
are you with us, Sir Wade?
Always.
Then let's do our duty.
You playing Grand Theft Auto at 6? How very unorthodox. Oh my god, my controller's possessed by the devil! I have a stick shift! Oh my god, my controller is possessed by a demon! Help me!
Get him!
And she's a possessed. Well, what? Well, if you had a controller that has a stick shift, you would overreact too.
Get him!
No. It is. Oh my god, this controller! He is an imbecile.
This one.
The power of Christ compels you.
Get him.
A stick shift. Oh, aren't you just cultured? The end movie? No, it is not. Fucking asleep child. Why can't I have an intelligent audience?
Is anyone hurt?
I don't think so.
And yet again, you've pulled me from the flames. It's just a pity I keep walking into them.
You've never been one to shy away from danger, Sir Wade. Like any shield worthy of the name.
Yeah, I know. I can say that for myself.
One piece.
Martha!
Is something wrong?
I want
Look out for smoke coming from down East
an
Broadway.
intelligent.
Too thick to be a hearth.
A second horde.
I want
Feel like finishing the job.
intellectuals.
Always.
Jill and I will make for East Pool. You'll need to move the injured without us.
Don't you worry about them.
The moment my men are safe, I'll follow. Good luck.
No, it is not from This Is the End. It's this camera. It's being a bitch.
Mad dogs alone.
My brothers.
This man's gonna die if we don't get him to a healer.
Just patch me up as quick as you...
They're headed for the rest.
We have to slow them down. Martha and the others won't be ready.
Go, Tor! Get him!
Well, happy belated birthday.
Over here! This
Krabby Patties? I could think of a more sophisticated choice of words.
Get him! This one! Go, Tor! Get him! This one! Over here! Over here!
You're so childish.
Sick 'em!
Are you a child?
Over here! Get him! Something's coming.
What's your age?
Apologies, my lord. Did I miss anything?
Only the first round, so wait. Shall we?
Then let me get.
Thanks, boy. Glad you're here.
Interested in childish things. Let's see. Improper use of capitals. Not interested in age-appropriate things. You must be autistic. "13. And my apologies then. Me, I'm 28.
Let's roll ready.
Oh my god.
This one. Over here. This one. Go, Torgal. Go, Torgal. This one. Go, Torgal. Go, Torgal. Get him.
Be 29 December.
This one.
Autistic. Autism. Asperger's syndrome. That's what I mean.
This one. Go, Torgal. Attack. Over here.
What? My audience? Mom, I just want to have conversation with intelligent viewers. Okay. Viewers who are also interested in this game that I can share an appropriate conversation with.
I'm hurt, Torgal.
Okay,
boy. I'm hurt, Torgal. Get him. Go, Torgal. Over here.
Oh my god, I'm going to die.
Let's try. This one. I'm hurt, Torgal. Attack. Go, Torgal. Too slow. Sick him. Attack. Sick him. Go, Torgal. Get him. This one. Go, Torgal.
Don't stop!
Yes. You want to know something else?
See any more?
Yeah, I don't mention it.
No. I think that was the last
I'd
of
rather
them.
be in a room full of intellectuals.
But it won't be long before the next lot arrive.
Then we make for Martha's while we can.
I did? Why should you celebrate? I didn't win or finish the whole game yet. I didn't win the whole game yet. If I did,
What did you find out
then I
there?
would have a reason to
The
celebrate.
Same as Sir Wade. Scores of Akashic.
Well, wherever they came from, they're gone now. Our lookouts say the lowlands are clear. Hopefully we'll have enough time to lick our wounds.
How many of your men were injured?
A damn sight less than if you hadn't turned up. Thank you.
It was a hard-fought victory. But as long as the skies remain dark, I fear the Akashic's numbers are only going to rise. It's not a matter of if the Horde will be back, but when. And whether that's sooner or later, we'll need to be ready. The inn here affords a good view of the land, and is easily defendable. I'd like to make this one of our outposts.
What do you say, Martha? You'd have more men to guard the rest.
Well, when you put it like that, of course they can stay.
My lord, there's someone I'd like you to meet. Oscar?
Really?
Over here.
Oscar who?
It is an honor to make your acquaintance, Lord Rosfield. I am Oscar. Oscar of House Murdoch.
Murdoch? I wasn't aware the Lord Commander had children.
Me neither.
Oh, he didn't. But his brother, my father, did. I am Sir Rodney's nephew. Well, go on then. It's not for me to ask him. Yes, so wait. If it please you, my Lord Marquis, might you take me as your squire? I would learn the duties of a shield from the finest.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Oscar, but I'm a shield no longer. Nor was I ever the finest.
How do I
Spending
compare
time
to
in the company
Andrew?
of an outlaw hardly seems a fitting education for one aspiring to take his oaths.
My Aunt Hannah once told me
Well,
that a man is not defined by his title, but what he does in its name. You have accomplished much since taking on the mantle of Cid, winning no little honor in so doing. And I would sooner serve under an honorable outlaw than an unworthy shield. Not that Sir Wade and the other guardians are... I mean to say that, they're...
how do I compare
It's
to
all right.
Andrew?
We know what you mean. There is only so much the boy can learn from me, my lord.
But a squire.
Would that really be so bad? You were a squire once. And I'm certain Sir Rodney would approve.
Is he autistic as well? Because I'm a bit of a drama king.
Know that I'll show you as much leniency as your uncle showed me.
I would not have it any other way.
The Damali Inn. Perhaps I should attend to certain. I shall attend to certain affairs, then I will sign off.
Cid, your new companion appears much more formidable than your uncle. Should I be worried?
You haven't been introduced.
Jill, Clive has told me much about you.
All lies, I'm sure.
Your Stolas said that Dalamil has a bandit problem.
Indeed. Although, you're a little late. They left with our food and guild days ago.
Any idea where they went?
The desert's a big place. Your guess is as good as mine. But the fact is, I have more immediate concerns.
What did you say to me? What did you say?
Ah, as if by magic. Let's just say we've yet to reach a consensus about how to solve Dalamil's little problem. And at this rate, it won't be the actions of the bandits which prove to be our undoing. It will be our own. I've tried reasoning with the dissenting parties, but even the Desert Hare has limits.
Perhaps we could talk to them.
What makes you think they'll listen to us?
What makes you think they won't?
She makes a fair point, Sid. And you won't have wasted much of your precious time if you fail. They're just across the courtyard.
Suppose we just follow the shouting.
I prefer more down-to-earth Thomas and Friends type of videos.
You wouldn't talk like that if it had been your men whose throats were slit. Blood for blood, it's the only way. We hire mercenaries and have them mount the bandits' heads on our walls as a lesson to the rest.
And what happens when those mercenaries are slaughtered like your men? Are you going to hire more? We're better off using that coin to buy food and supplies. If we hire mercenaries, the only thing we're buying is the bandits' ire. And you cannot fill empty bellies with that. Do you hear me?
But what happens when they come back? Maybe it'll be your throat that's slit.
That's enough. Both of you. Any more of this and I'll throw you out myself. Come back when you're ready to talk like adults.
Victor. What's he doing here?
Sid. And Lady Jill. What brings you here?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Costness is in chaos, and the markets have all but ceased to operate. The Briar's Kiss here in Dalimil is the only place I can reliably obtain supplies. I was here to do just that when Master Lubor told me of his troubles. He thought I might be able to talk some sense into these fools. But if you're here, I suppose his patience must be waning.
Who are those people?
Those were the thorns in Lubor's side. And the reason this place might be headed the same way as Costness. It's these accursed skies. The darkness is enough to drive a man to madness.
I
or
can
an
see.
entire city, for that matter.
Darkness. There's like broad daylight
But
out
in the
there.
meantime, perhaps we can find a solution to Dalimil's problems.
I hope so. For all our sakes.
And sometimes I wish I lived in England for the sake of cloudy days and rainy ones.
So, you see my predicament?
What I saw was a room full of people who were angry and afraid. And with good reason by the sound of it. But if left to smolder, that anger and fear could set the entire town alight.
My thoughts exactly. What to do? Both sides wish to protect their homes and livelihoods, if only they could agree on how. But as long as they are divided, we are vulnerable.
And if there's one thing bandits like, it's an easy target.
What would Sid the Outlaw suggest?
Well, if it were my namesake, he'd let them choose for themselves and be on hand to pick up the pieces when it all went wrong.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
A recipe for disaster is precisely what it is. But perhaps that realization would be enough to make them question the ingredients. While it's plain neither Conrad nor Natalie will countenance the other's proposal, it may still be possible to make them doubt their own. Before presenting them with a third option.
And that would be?
To pool our resources and save the city ourselves. Why fight each other?
When all that fear and anger can be directed at the bandits.
It appears we have a plan of action. Victor, pay Conrad a visit. See if you can't convince him of his folly. I'll speak with Natalie.
As you wish.
Your faces are not well known in this town. That may prove useful. Don't worry, Victor and I will do most of the talking. You need only play along.
Play along?
What he means to say is yes.
Victory, Conrad. Ah, here she is. The Lady of the Spear herself, Conrad. May I introduce you to Jane, commander of the Red Wings, the oldest mercenary guild in the Free Cities.
A pleasure, my lady.
The pleasure is all mine.
As I told you, I summoned the commander here from Canberra to inquire about a contract.
Victor says you told him no. That there aren't any men left to hire. Is that true?
True as the crystals cracked. Nobles came and claimed every last one worth his salt. And not just from us Red Wings. You know of the 7 high houses. There must be 2 swords assigned each one. Granted, we have a few boys left. If it's boys you're looking for.
Well, Conrad, are you saying that Dalamel's finest cannot defend this town better than a gaggle of unblooded striplings? That a band of beardless youths could better avenge the
Striplings?
deaths
You know,
of
I've never
brave
really
men
heard
than
someone use striplings before.
Absolutely not. We'll show those bastards who they're dealing with.
I can't believe that actually worked.
Conrad's not what you called the brightest candle in the crypt. And there's a reason why
The
I had
sharpest
you
tool in the
do
shed.
talking and not Sid. Well played, my lady.
Now it is stable.
My shop.
If I had my pickaxe, I would...
What?
I mean, it
Stab
must
your
be
brother
possible
with
to
it?
buy something. And here he is now. Natalie, allow me to introduce Lord Underhill of Randalar's prestigious League of Merchants.
Lord Underhill. At your service.
Underhill.
I was just telling the good lady of our conversation, my lord, and how you were lamenting the state of the capital's stores.
Lubor says that not only are the granaries almost empty, but that war and the Blight mean this season's harvest won't be enough to fill them for winter.
Indeed, certainly that is the case. The nobles in the capital are buying up the city's stocks of barley and wine, driving the prices higher than most commoners can afford. It is only a matter of time before the peasants revolt.
It is worse than I thought. If what Lord Underhill says is true, I fear we have little hope
Or
of supplementing
stab.
our stores,
I was trying to
meager
think
though
of
they regrettably
what to
are.
use.
And while I applaud your endeavors to dissuade our more bellicose citizens from seeking vengeance, I sense Conrad is not wrong in his assessment of the bandits' likely return. Which means that now, more than ever, we will need to secure what little we still have. Food, weapons, herbs, everything. If our humble town is to endure not only this hardship, but those that are certain to follow, we must stand united.
All right. If it will help to protect my home, I'll do it. But you needn't have gone through this charade.
Thank you, Clive. Your performance was nothing if not workmanlike.
She saw right through it.
I didn't say it was good, merely that it produced the desired effect. Now, my scouts should be returning shortly. Meet me back at the Briar's Kiss, and we shall see what we face.
I'm not convinced our roles in this ruse were entirely necessary.
I don't know. Conrad seemed quite taken with you.
Guys, I'm tired of this. I'm signing off.